Margarita with a Straw is a 2014 Indian Hindi-language drama film directed by Sonali Bose. It stars Kalki Koechlin as an Indian teenager with cerebral palsy who relocates to America for her undergraduate education and comes of age following her complex relationship with a blind girl, played by Sayani Gupta. Ravathi, Kuljit Singh, and William Moseley play supporting roles. Produced by Bose in partnership with Viacom 18 Motion Pictures, Margarita with a Straw was co-written by Bose and Nilesh Maniar. The film deals with the challenging concepts of sexuality, inclusion, self-love, and self-acceptance. Sonali Bose, born 3 June 1965, is an Indian film director, writer and film producer. Having made her feature film debut in 2005, she has since won such accolades as a National Film Award, a Bridgestone Narrative Award, and a Sundance Mahindra Global Filmmaker Award. Bose earned her breakthrough with her first feature film, the 2005 biographical drama Mu, which was based on her own novel of the same name. The film, which chronicles the attacks on Sikhs in Delhi in 1984, garnered critical acclaim and the National Film Award for Best Feature Film in English. Bose then worked as the assistant director for the 2012 war film Chittagong, which she also co-wrote. Bose's status as a filmmaker grew following the critical and commercial success of the dramas Margarita with a Straw 2015 and The Sky is Pink 2019. Inspired from the life of Malini Cheeb, her cousin and a disability rights activist, the former earned Bose a Sundance Mahindra Global Filmmaker Award and a NETPAC Award. Bose is also an active philanthropist and supports various charitable organizations. She was married to filmmaker Bedibrata Payne, but the couple separated following the death of their son. Bose conceived the idea for the film in January 2011 during a conversation with Malini Cheeb, her cousin and a disability rights activist, about the latter's desire to have a normal sex life. Inspired by Cheeb's story, Bose wrote the first draft of the film's script. After winning a Sundance Mahindra Global Filmmaker Award for the draft, she modified the script to reflect her own perspective, incorporating several personal experiences into the narrative. Bose completed the screenplay with co-writer Maniar and the advisory council of the Sundance Institute. Bose was keen to cast an actress with cerebral palsy for the central part, but eventually hired Koechlin, who learned the movements and speech patterns of people with the disorder. Filming took place in Delhi and New York in 2013, with Ann Misawa as the director of photography. The film was selected for the National Film Development Corporation of India's Work in Progress Lab initiative during post-production, which was completed in the latter half of 2013. The soundtrack for the film was composed by Mikey McCleary. Margarita with a Straw premiered at the 2014 Toronto International Film Festival. It was also screened at the Tall and Black Nights, the BFI London, the Vessel Festival of Asian Cinema, and the Galway Film Fleet. The film was released theatrically in India on the 17th of April 2015 to positive reviews. Commentators praised most aspects of the production, Koechlin's performance, and Bose's direction. Koechlin won the Screen Award for Best Actress and the National Film Award Special Jury Award, and Bose won the NETPAC Award at Toronto. Commercially, Margarita with a Straw grossed over 74 million rupees against a production budget of 65 million rupees. Summary. Layla Kapoor is a teenager with cerebral palsy studying at Delhi University. She is an aspiring writer and also composes music for an indie band at the university. Layla develops feelings for the lead singer, but is heartbroken when she is rejected. Moving on from the experience, Layla is overjoyed to receive a scholarship for a semester's study at New York University. Despite her father's reservations, she moves to Greenwich Village, Manhattan with her Orthodox Maharashtrian mother Shubhangini Damal. Layla meets an attractive young man named Jared, who is assigned to help her in the creative writing class. She also meets a young activist, Kanam, a blind girl of Pakistani-Bangladeshi descent, with whom she falls in love. Layla is enamored by Kanam's fiercely independent personality and her positive perspective towards her own disability. The two spend most of their time together, filling in as each other's caregivers. Layla becomes confused about her sexual orientation, as she is attracted to men, Jared in particular, while being in a serious relationship with Kanam. She has sex with Jared, only to regret it immediately. Layla does not tell Kanam about this encounter. Oblivious to her daughter's relationship with Kanam, Layla's mother invites Kanam to Delhi to spend the winter vacation with Layla's family. Layla ultimately finds the courage to come out to her mother about bisexuality and her relationship with Kanam, both of which her mother strongly disapproves. Layla also confesses to Kanem that she had sex with Jared and asks for her forgiveness. Feeling betrayed by Layla, Kanem breaks up with her and leaves for New York. Shubhangini is diagnosed with advanced colon cancer which has relapsed after previous treatments. Layla and her mother move past their differences while Layla tends to her at the hospital. The two eventually reconcile shortly before Shubhangini's death. Layla plays a song recorded by Shubhangini at Shubhangini's funeral telling how much she loved her and how she was the only one who ever understood her. Layla is later seen drinking a margarita with a straw while on a date with herself. Credits adapted from Rotten Tomatoes. 3. Kalki Koechlin as Layla Kapoor. Ravathi as Shubhangini Kapoor. Sayani Gupta as Kanem. Kuljit Singh as Layla's father. Hussain Dalal as Dhruv. William Mosley as Jared. Malar Kushu as Manu. Tenzin Dalla as Nima. Shuchi Dwivedi as Samira. Doug Plott as Rob. Jennifer Silverstein as Nancy. Marco Toriani as Charles. Music director and singer Mikey McCleary composed the soundtrack for Margarita with a Straw, with Joy Barua serving as the guest composer for both versions of the song, Dusokut. The lyrics for the album were written primarily by Prasoon Joshi, except for the tracks, I Need a Man, and Don't Go Running Off Anytime Soon, the latter featuring English lyrics written by McCleary. Artists such as Sharmistha Chatterjee, Sonu Kakkar, Anushka Manchanda, Rachel Varghese, Vivian Pocha, and Rajnagandha Shekhawat provided vocals for the album on various tracks. 28. The first track to be released, the soft rock number, Dusokut, was originally composed by Barua in Assamese and was rewritten in Hindi by Joshi. 29. In April 2015 the complete soundtrack was released under the Z Music Company label. 28. Critics such as Kazman Fernandez and Joginder Tutea gave positive reviews of the soundtrack's unconventional style. 31. The former appreciated Barua's energetic vocals in Dusokut and the Desi Yet Classy number 4 in Balamwa in her 3 out of 5-star review for the Times of India. She described the lyrics by Joshi as cheerful, but was less impressed by McCleary's passable writing. 32. Tutea, writing for Bollywood Hangama, noted the album's lack of a commercial appeal and wrote that at best it fits in well into the stage and setting that the film stands for. He praised McCleary's command of the English compositions and his boyish charm as a vocalist. Tutea was particularly impressed by Pocha's thumping vocals in I Need a Man and the serene effect of the final 2 tracks of the album. He also found the choice of such artists as Manchanda and Kakkar odd for what he described as an album heavily influenced by Western music. 31. Brian Durham of the Daily News and Analysis considered the duo's respective tracks unusual and candid. He singled out the instrumental number, Layla's theme, as the beating heart of the film. 32. Kanem is so striking, just such a fantastic character. And there was this really boring British boy who lived in America. When I owned the character, writing from being Layla myself, Layla was like, are you kidding me? This is the more interesting person. But I didn't do it consciously thinking, Layla just fell in love with Kanem and it happened organically, not from me wanting to deal with this issue. Bose on Layla's sexuality. 4. Shonali Bose began working on a story in January 2011, on what would have been her son's 17th birthday. He had died the year previously. She worked on the first draft extensively for about a month. Although the main character of Layla is based on her cousin Malini Cheeb, a disability rights activist, the narrative follows Bose's own experience of losing a family member. She acknowledged the difficulty of incorporating elements from her personal life into the story, calling it a tough emotional journey. 5. The idea of working on a film about disability was conceived during a casual conversation between Bose and her aunt Cheeb's mother, who wanted her niece to work on a similar project aimed at creating awareness regarding the subject. 4. Having grown up in the same household as Cheeb, Bose was familiar with the discrimination faced by people with disabilities. She was especially intrigued by the general ignorance exhibited towards the sexuality of people with disabilities, and therefore decided to incorporate it into the narrative. 6. Bose later adapted the original draft into a feature film-length script for Margarita with a Straw with co-writer Nilesh Maniyar. In 2012 the script won the Sundance Mahindra Global Filmmaker Award. 4. As part of the prize, the duo were awarded mentorships from the Sundance Institute's staff and creative advisors, and participated in a feature film program lab, which is where Bose decided to modify the story. 7. After being told by the advisory board that she was not in the skin of the character, Bose decided to rewrite the script from her own perspective, instead of solely trying to incorporate Cheeb's point of view. She said that only after winning the award did she incorporate unconsciously her experiences as a bisexual woman in India. Bose and Maniar worked for 2 years on the script as it went through more than 40 revisions before becoming the final screenplay. 4. Bose originally intended to cast actors with the same disabilities as the characters of Layla and Kanam. Since there were no actresses with cerebral palsy in India, she held auditions for the role in institutions that catered to patients, but could not find a suitable person to play the central role. Bose also had a meeting with a blind actress in her early 30s to discuss the role of Kanam, a character she associated herself with. The actress refused to pursue the role, being uncomfortable with the sexual content of the script. She nevertheless helped Bose by assisting Sayani Gupta, who was eventually cast as Kanam. 6. Having decided to cast a professional for the part of Layla, Bose approached Kalki Koechlin, who she said was her first and only choice for the role. 8. Since Koechlin was still shooting for Ye Jawani Hai Diwani 2013, at the time, Bose began looking for other actresses to play the role, but felt that something was missing in each one. She eventually decided to push the filming back for 3 months to accommodate her first choice. 9. Koechlin admitted that the role was the most challenging of her film career and she took 6 months to prepare for it. 10. 11. She underwent a 6-week training workshop with actor Adil Hussain, which was aimed at making her body language seem natural, while also focusing on the speech pattern of patients with cerebral palsy. 12. Koechlin spent considerable time with Cheeb and her physiotherapist and speech therapist. She also attended a month-long workshop in Delhi, where she worked on body part movements. 13. Although the film addresses aspects of the challenges of physical disability, Koechlin dubbed it a rom-com within some hurdles. 13. Bose too described the film as a coming-of-age story about a woman's journey of finding love. 14. 15. Maniar, who also served as the casting director for the film, contacted Gupta for the role of Kanam while she was working on the travel show Ye Hai India Meri Yan. Immediately drawn to the character, Gupta agreed to audition and was cast for the role after a lengthy selection process that lasted about a month. 16. She said in a later interview that she had felt fortunate to have bagged the character of Kanam. 17. To prepare for the role, Gupta stayed blindfolded while doing daily activities such as cooking and bathing and spent time with a special voice and accent trainer. She also attended classes at the National Association for the Blind, where she learned basic Braille. 18. Revathi, who had previously played a mother to a young child with cerebral palsy in Anjali 1990, agreed to play Lila's mother after reading the script. 19. William Mosley was cast as Jared, a British student in Lila's class. 17. Principal photography for Margarita with a Straw began in 2013 and took place at New Delhi and New York with 2 separate schedules. Anne Misawa worked as the director of photography. 8. 2021. While the first half of the story is set in the Sri Ram College of Commerce of Delhi University, it was mainly filmed at Miranda House. 22. Students and staff members from institutions such as Ramjas College and Lady Sri Ram were involved actively in the project. Tenzin Dalla, a final-year political science student from the former, played one of Koechlin's love interests in the film. Shuchi Dwivedi from the latter played Koechlin's best friend. Other students from the university were cast as members of a local band, which also included Dalla and Dwivedi. Koechlin's father was played by Kuljit Singh, an English literature professor from Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College. 22. Set in the neighborhood of Greenwich Village, the second half of Margarita with a Straw was shot during the summer in New York. 6. Filming took place at Roosevelt Island and Coney Island. 23. 24. Snow machines created the artificial environment required for various sequences set during winter season. The crew faced difficulties in filming certain scenes. At one point, the van that was used to carry Koechlin in her wheelchair broke down and had to be manually stabilized during the shoot. 25. Prior to the filming of the sex scenes, the cast attended workshops to develop a better understanding of emotional and sexual intimacy. Mosley, who was especially anxious about his scenes with Koechlin, attended a workshop conducted by Bose herself. 6. The complete film was shot in 2 months. 26. Margarita with a Straw was selected for the National Film Development Corporation of India's Work in Progress Lab initiative during post-production in 2013. 24. It was edited by Manisha Baldawa and the sound mixing was done by Rasul Pukati and Amrit Pritam. 1. Certain scenes with frontal nudity were removed during the editing process to avoid a conflict with the Central Board of Film Certification. 27. Produced by Viacom 18 Motion Pictures and Ashan Talkies, in association with Jacodia Group and Adapt, the film's final cut ran for a total of 100 minutes. 1. Bose had funded the project herself as Viacom 18 covered only half the estimated 65 million rupees production cost. 2. Another partner withdrew financial support around 10 days prior to commencement of filming. Bose had to apply for a personal loan to pay the bills, but was able to complete the film with support from the crew members, who agreed to their payments being delayed. 15. The international distribution rights for Margarita with a Straw were acquired by Wide Management, a Paris-based sales production distribution house. 1.